Once, in the small town of Nil, there were two small houses on the banks of the river Og. In one of the houses lived Grace, a kind woman whose generosity knew no bounds. In the other lived a man whose name nobody recalled. Most people called him the Collector. The two of them seldom saw one another unless they happened to be at their mailboxes at the same time. The Collector, who was always receiving boxes of all shapes and sizes, would pay little notice to Grace's nods and warm greetings. He was too busy scurrying back through his front door, murmuring things like,
"6 more and I'll have the whole set."
Meanwhile, Grace kept very busy, even on weekends, entertaining various children from the nearby shelter and teaching literacy classes at the local high school. One day at the mailbox, Grace commented, "I understand you are a collector. May I ask what you collect?"
"What?"
he replied, peering over the latest box.
"Oh, different things. Many things. I'll show you someday when my collection is complete."
"Oh, that would be very," replied Grace, but he hadn't stayed long enough to hear her. Years passed, and Grace's friends and acquaintances increased. The Collector continued to gather his latest boxes and adding on an occasional new wing to his house to accommodate their contents. Then one spring, the heavy rains in the nearby mountains unleashed a terrible series of floods. The river Og became rushing rapids, overflowing its banks. Grace's home was seriously damaged by the waters, but its foundation was left standing. The Collector's home, with all its unstable wings and additions, was washed away completely. After the flood, as Grace's many friends were rallying to her support, she took some of her extra food to her devastated neighbor. "I'm sure together we can help you rebuild," she said.
"Rebuild?"
he exclaimed.
"I can never recover all that I had. It's lost forever."
Grace glanced over her shoulder at all her friends at work. "What I have, I can never lose," she thought. No one knew what became of the Collector after that day, and as a matter of fact, no one ever really knew exactly what he had been collecting all those years. Two children did, however, remember seeing him wandering over the hills while repeatedly muttering to himself,
"Just one more, and I would have had a complete set. Just one more. Just one more. Just one more."